in the cabbage.
Well, let's get it.
Test.
Yeah, we're live.
Welcome to In the Cabbage. This is crazy.
This is pretty bananas right now that we're actually doing this.
I'm Tommy Swain, Andrew Witt. Please subscribe, please listen, please download, like. And just a reminder, keep swinging. Welcome back to In the Cabbage. I'm your boy, Tommy Swain. To my right or your left, Andrew Witt.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
I had an intrusive thought. I'm looking here at our camera, and this boy is leaning like the Eiffel Tower.
It really is. It's got some serious gangster lean to it.
And the Eiffel Tower doesn't have a lean. That's a different building. What's that building? I might sound real ignorant. Need your help putting you on the island with me.
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
That boy.
Whoa, that was a really digging deep for that one.
That's a team effort. And we team effort that one, buddy.
You know what, though? You actually did. The camera does look straight and flat.
The camera looks straight and flat.
But the whole situation.
The whole janky tripod is, like you said, the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah.
And it's in the name. You think I remember it. It says leaning right off the rip.
It's the Pisa part that really gets you,
I think
Which is surprising because it sounds a lot like pizza.
Right.
So
this should be my building.
Hang on to that real quick, right? Put that one in the back pocket. That one's not going anywhere.
That's going to be tough for me because someone's going to ask me one day, the Leaning Tower of Pizza.
Right.
And I'm going to say pizza. Almost did it there. Yeah. So I'm going to go Leaning Tower of Pizza, you mean? And they're going to be like, whoa, this guy.
And then you just say, well, whatever, dude. Tomato, right. Espresso.
I'm going to share a really embarrassing story of Tommy Swain right now.
Okay, let's get right into it.
And
what do we got?
I really want to do it, but I'm going to.
Well, now it's in the atmosphere. You got to proclaim it out loud here.
Okay, so I'm going to Rome.
Okay.
And
have I heard this story?
I don't know.
Okay.
Going to Rome.
It maybe is that embarrassing. You didn't share it with,
it's throwback
with your boy.
For me.
Okay.
So we're going to Rome. And this is the first time I'm traveling with the wifey's family. We're freshly dating. So I got to make a good impression. We're traveling.
Is that like your first major trip with the fam?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. I mean, you're going to Rome. I didn't know if you apart from dinner and hanging out, have you gone anywhere else or gone to a really nice dinner or a full day at the beach? You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm saying. That's kind of crazy how you just go Rome. And that's one of your first major vacations.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. Okay. I think that was our first.
Either way, early on in the relationship.
We did dinners. We've also stayed over. I've stayed the night at their house. I've hung out with their brother. So it wasn't so weird. It didn't feel so weird, but it was a huge trip. Can't be a weenie. They gotta enjoy traveling with me,
Right.
And we're going and doing all the sightseeing. We're seeing everything. We're seeing the Colosseum. And eventually they book a tour for the Sistine Chapel.
Okay.
Which I was really excited about.
Dude, it's all the architecture over there. It'll blow your socks off for people that have not gone over to Europe.
Get a guide.
We've been very fortunate to head over there, but man, it is gorgeous. The architecture over there. So churches should not be slept on one bit. You said get a guide.
Get a guide.
Yeah.
Gotta get a guide. Because they also can help you get in and out really easily through the check-in process, and it's a trek. I can hardly hear the person, and I'm checking it out, and I look to Madison and I go, so this is the 16th one, right?
You did not.
And she thinks, Tommy is making a joke again.
Right.
This guy. And she starts dying. And I'm like, what happened to 15 and 14?
And you're like, so she still thinks the joke's running though at this point, right?
Right. So she's dying.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't under so this is the 16th one, right? She's like, no, babe. No, honey. And that was the running.
Not quite.
And that's been the running joke. So, of course, everyone in the family knew. I cracked a joke with the person who was...
Oh, you did it in front of your tour guide and everything.
I did, again, in front of the tour guide.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I was like, okay, well, this is going to be a treat for everybody now. Because everyone's going to know.
I thought you were going to say like you pooped your pants in the airplane or something like that.
No, that's your vibe. That's
the butthole game in the cozy corner is not a strong one.
a lot of weak stomachs. Dude, I had like a gusher recently.
Okay. What's wrong with those? Those are fire.
Fire. My stomach can't handle it anymore.
Really?
Like too much sour. Like I've blew through it.
Whatever happened to the sour gusher? Remember how special those were?
Those are at gas stations now. You can buy
them. They are
back.
not.
Yeah, that's why I ate.
Oh my God, they got sour gushers in gas stations. Gas stations, I mean, we covered the 3 worst of like food snacks for like trips and stuff like that. Gas stations have been really stepping up their game. And it's like the Cheeto fry. The hot Cheeto fry is dangerous. I mean, I can eat like a family-sized portion of those bags.
I hate hot Cheeto stuff.
But the fries, have you had the fries?
No, I haven't had the fries.
Dude, yeah, they'll blow your hair back. They are so good. They're not as spicy, and they're just really light, crispy, and really buttery. And they're pretty good. Like,
yeah, we were at.
You can only buy them at gas stations.
So I got Gushers at the gas station.
Wow, special.
It's super sour Gushers, so they're a little extra sour.
How did I not know about this, dude? You've been keeping it from me.
I know. I just thought you wouldn't even be interested.
What are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We would go crazy for sours, and then we were so bummed that they were discontinued.
I know. The Gushers.
And now we've got the sour Mike and Ike's, which, they do the trick, I feel like. They're good.
And you get a full bag of these things, dude.
My mouth is going crazy right now, dude.
And then also, I was driving back from Oregon, stopped in the gas station, and they have Reese's flavored animal crackers.
Whoa.
They dipped the Reese's peanut butter and the chocolate on one side and made an animal cracker out of it.
Whoa.
And so it tastes like the peanut butter candy from Girl Scouts. Or the cookie.
Yeah. I kind of know what you're talking about, but like mixed with a Nutter Butter type situation.
Yeah, because like the peanut butter is a little different.
I love snacks like that.
And then they also do a pretzel.
Good, like, wait, what?
And they do the same thing, the chocolate Reese's peanut butter on a pretzel.
Dude, Kind, one of the vendors that we rep, they came out with a animal cookie cracker or animal like cookie pretzel or funfetti. It's like a combo of the two. And dude, those things hit because they got like the pink frosting on there and they got the little the sprinkles. They're really good, but they're not as like, old school. And so, some things like, don't touch them if they're great, right? Don't fix it if it ain't broke. These kind of like improved upon it as well. Like they're really solid, but
those, that sounds great. Enough of us being fat or me being fat and you being you.
Well, I mean, I'm always, yeah, it's tough.
But it's not from a lack of working out. You work out hard in the gym.
That's true. That's true. I do try to hit it.
Gym.
I do try to hit it at least twice. And I don't know. If I'm going to eat bad, it's like on a road trip, know, like it's like candy and shit like that. Like I'm not reaching for like, I mean, it would totally tear up my insides, but like fettuccine Alfredo, that's not my palate. Never has been.
No.
Never loved the stuff, but like I'm never reaching for something like that. But,
yeah.
I do love a good old like Sour Patch Kids, some Gushers, some Shockers. Yeah, I'm down. Like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, dude, fire.
Those are, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are great.
You still need to try the Thins. If you try the Thins, they're nice.
I'll have to find those Thins. But we also continue this little party, of us eating and hanging out was this weekend. We went to Nick Amato's wedding.
Yeah.
The Amatos, Mary and Nick. So
it was a really fun time. To be honest, I'm gonna shoot straight right now. Great wedding. Because I didn't know how they were gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because Nick proposed to Mary in December, and we just had a July wedding. So that's 7 months, not like the following year, July. And we're warning people on this podcast saying, don't go any less than like 10 months if you want your life to be complete and utter hell. But like in a sense of just you have no free time. Your whole world revolves around this wedding.
Right. And it took us, we had less than a year. You had over a year. And like 7 months is quick. And it was unreal. It was a great time.
It was a really fun time. beautiful little like reception that they had like on the water. Like when we had like cocktail hour,
Was great.
that was the best hour for sure.
Oh, I was super. I mean, the cocktail hour always is, to me, is the best.
Yeah,
hour.
it really is. Yeah.
Then you get down to dinner, and it's great. You know, we had a great table.
Yeah, really fun table, and the food was bomb too. I was actually a pretty big fan.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed the dressings, and the pasta was pretty good too.
I thought the potatoes were
the potatoes. I forgot about the
all time.
potatoes.
I could have a plate of those things.
The
and
potatoes
that is it.
slap.
Yeah.
I forgot about the potatoes. Those were all time.
They were dangerous.
Desserts were good.
Ooh, didn't get any of those. What did they have?
Like it was brownies.
Okay,
We got Mad Mess, and I just saw brownies. We went brownies.
That's it. That's always an easy pick.
Yeah,
it's like seeing a chocolate chip cookie. It's just like, you grab it.
You grab the brownie.
Right.
The drinks were strong. They were flowing, which was nice.
Dude, the drinks were really strong.
Yeah,
and
doubles were triples and singles were doubles.
Yeah, and I was asking for just like scotch or whiskey on the rocks, whatever they had back there, and I came back with like 6 to like 8 ounces
Yeah, you're
of just straight booze in a cup. And they're like, here you go, here's a red cup, let's fill it all the way to the top. I mean, good thing about those, you don't like suck them down too fast. At least I try not to.
Right, and they were walking around with beer and wine too. It was great.
Yeah, it was fire, really fun,
super fun.
Congrats to the both of them. Good stuff.
It was yes, congrats. They're on their honeymoon now. It's awesome to see. And one of our other buddies just got married. Congrats to Matt and Jordan, or engaged. Sorry, Matt and Jordan.
Dude, you had me panicking there. I was like, wait, who just got married?
Yeah,
I'm like, oh god.
Matt and Jordan actually just got married. It took them 2 days. No, engaged.
Congrats to them. Good stuff, dude. Good stuff.
And then, I worked on my golf swing on Sunday a bit, which was nice.
Yeah, that was we both went to the range.
Yeah, how was your range session?
Me, far too early the morning after that wedding. Yeah. I mean, it was at 11, so like that's not too early to ask. Mm-hmm. But after you consume a plethora of drinks and stay up till 2-3 in the morning, I'm setting myself up for failure at that point and trying to be social for like a coworker's 30th birthday, which was unbelievable, by the way. Her sister rolled up. She had snack boxes for everyone. You get a chicken pesto sandwich and 2 golf balls and a mimosa in a can.
Whoa.
And it was, dude, she had like 30 of these things prepared. Like had all of like the little wood chips balls inside. They were like printed with Cassie's face on it from like all through like her childhood into like her teens. Whoa. And like all that kind of stuff. It was really well done. I was shocked. We had 4 mats that were on the driving range at Costa Mesa, designated for us. They like put out signs and everything. Kudos to I'm gonna give kudos to Sarah though, the sister, because Costa Mesa is not that accommodating, and it's not one of those situations. It's a public range, like. The fact that they even like shut down a few was pretty nice, and like put out some mats and stuff like that. But kudos to her for making it happen. Really fun, really cool. Rain sesh was okay. I was more for just like hanging out.
For sure.
I mean, I was kind of feeling a little off anyway.
You weren't doing full drills and swinging.
No, not like you were. But I did actually get to hit I met a semi-pro there, which is in Cassie's friend group. He used to play like on the B tour. Like right below the Corn Ferry. I think it's like ABC. So then like it's like whatever, that entry level before the Corn Ferry tour. Talking with him, I made a comment because he had the Ricky Fowler blades from Cobra. Have you seen those things? Like the bronze ones? They were impossible to hit, right? Something really cool though, I was like, because I just made a comment. Dude, I've never actually seen those irons in someone's bag before. And I kind of just like said that to him. He's like, dude, what? He's like, oh yeah, listen that. And then like, he got super into the golf talk with me instantaneously, and I latched onto that really quickly.
Oh, that sounds like a great time.
And he's like, yeah, you want to hit one of them?
Oh, please. You hit one, right?
Oh, I hit him.
Did you flush one?
Flushed. 3 shots in a row. And even whipped out a 4-iron, bro. And I will be happy to say that I hit this thing dead out of the center, and it felt amazing. It felt immaculate.
I bet.
And I'm like, it's a tiny little thing down there.
Does Ricky Fowler use those at the course?
No, he does not. Those were just like a one-off, like special release. And I thought maybe he would have like 7-iron down to like wedge. No, this dude's got all the irons.
Does he like play them? Like enjoy them actually?
Yeah, he plays them. Enjoys them. He's like, I've always wanted a blade, so I just bought them. They look great. They feel good too. I mean, like maybe I hit it like 5 yards shorter, but like it's fine. I was like, wow, that's really cool. But the one thing that was really interesting though that he actually had on those irons were the Jumbo Max grips.
Oh yeah, that's a new thing going around.
And it's funny because one of the YouTube channels that I watch fairly consistently, less now, but it's Peter Finch, and he was doing a review on the Jumbo Max grips because we've been playing them for a couple of years. It's a big thing because apparently, like it's takes a little bit out of your hands,
right?
So you can rely more on your like body and shoulder turning into the shots, as well as reducing some of like the recoil and shock that you get in your hands and wrists.
Right.
So if you hit a lot of golf balls and you have wrist and elbow issues, that is one way to combat the pain. Apparently, it's not proven, but a lot of people say it actually
helps
dampens.
A lot.
Yeah, it dampens it for sure.
That makes sense.
I mean, it's a big, thick piece of rubber.
I got tennis elbow after like 5 days of playing tennis straight,
and they felt good, dude.
Right.
I mean, if they're also helping you out, if later down the line, let's say like you have an elbow issue because you kind of like battle with that. We knocked around a tennis ball like in the summertime. And then you like got tennis elbow like 3-4 days in
because you were like you don't have the right grip. And I remember you like these grips are fucked. So it's like I'm like that makes a lot of sense because like I need a bigger grip. And then we stopped playing. I just like because you were also clapping my cheeks in tennis for that summer. But anyway, so back to the Jumbo grips, and they were fun to play with.
They were I mean I would consider throwing those things on there. I don't know if I'd do it. I'd sure consider it though. If
you need to do it,
yeah, I would have no problem if I needed to do it, or if it would benefit my golf swing. No problem, I would throw those things on. Yeah, and
I already play with a bigger grip, so I mean, it's not like unfathomable for me to do.
You play with a mid-size, right?
Right.
Yeah, I play with the standard. I just like the feel of the standard, but certainly if I was able to actually get my grip a little bit easier too, because there's just more to hold on to.
Right.
Which is kind of nice. Like you can hold it. I feel like you hold it lighter because you're not so clenched, right? You're not white knuckling the standard small grip down there, Yeah,
you're over there choking a chicken. Yeah, it's I agree. It's weird. So he was just flushing. Was he just sick with the club?
I mean, I wasn't like dialed in with him, but I was just talking with him for 10 minutes. He had a good swing. That's why I noticed him. I made that little comment just to see what I could get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he says he just plays on the weekends. He's scratch now, just shoots 72, 69 a lot, 74 a lot. Like,
okay.
Yeah, he's a good player.
That's awesome.
So it was fun, good little time. We bowed out like an hour and a half in, dude. I mean, we were I was in okay shape, but Katie, not so much.
Katie took the brunt of the doubles.
Yeah. She really went to town on those vodka cranberries on Saturday night and fully capitalized. Mm-hmm. And she was having herself a great time. So yeah, paid the price for it. A little banged up on that Sunday.
You woke up and she chose war that morning.
Yeah, dude. And so we had to end up backing out of they were going to a restaurant or whatever afterwards. We're like, okay, let's show face, and then and went back home straight, pass out on the couch for one of the best all time hangover cures is like good food and a nap.
Yeah, I don't nap.
I love a nap. Throwing tennis, I had tennis on or golf on, and I was just like, this is perfect prime time.
Yeah, I have an issue with I caught myself so. When I'm sitting down and relaxing and watching something on TV by myself, I'm always on my phone.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
And it takes away almost the relaxing element of it.
Yeah.
I actually get mad at myself now where I'm sitting on my phone too much, when I'm watching golf. And I'm not even watching golf really. I'm kind of just sitting on my phone, and it's stressing me out almost.
It sounds stupid, but I will literally put my phone out of reach.
Right.
Me. I literally put it on the other side of the couch, and I just leave it there.
You're okay, you go over there for a bit.
Do you see the hard thing for you though is that you can't record anything? I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, just maybe on the commercial break is the rule.
Yeah, I know, but it's so hard because then I'm so locked into my phone. I'll do it too. If I'm watching something live or I get distracted and I forget that I'm watching TV, and then it's oh shit, I gotta go back. I had the liberty of doing that, but you unfortunately don't. You just gotta zone, tune back in.
Yeah, I
But
need to get back to record
I
television.
think the
at some
recording, I
point.
think that's really what, if you had it recorded and you're flying through all the commercials and you're like skipping 15 seconds every once in a while or 8 seconds every once in a while when they're like going over like rules and they're calling over a rules official and like, you're like,
Right.
okay, this is going to be a 3-4 minute thing. Let's just get right through this. And like, we're right back into it.
I do like the element of a live game though. Every once in a while,
I do. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to beat that.
Yeah, so I guess I get like for elements of like golf where maybe I could just fast forward and catch up. But yeah, I definitely do that. I also was playing, like we said, some golf on Sunday. Went over to my local golf course. Never been there, Tustin Ranch.
Yeah. I want to hear more about it because I haven't been over there either.
Course looks tough.
Really?
A lot of water.
Narrow
houses on top of the course.
Ooh.
And I walked up. I was excited, like, you know, didn't no clue what the practice range was. Madison was napping heavy. I had like, it was like 2:00 and I would like all the sports were over for the day because I watch live. So like I'm not rewatching anything. I'm like, it's like, I don't really want to nap. And so I was like, I'll just go hit golf balls.
Yeah.
And it was cool. And then I ran over there. Did the Tiger Woods putting drill. The putting green was at best.
Okay.
But I just really what I wanted to do there. I wasn't too worried about making putts or speed or distance. I really just wanted to practice like infield putting because I was having problems with my takeaway and like feeling like coming through it. And so that's all I cared about.
What's the is the Tiger Woods rule where he puts down like the 2 tees?
Yeah, like almost touching your putter.
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'm just trying to make like 5-footers and I made like I had like 6 golf balls. I made 5 out of 6.
Nice.
And it's just, you know, focusing. You really have to focus on your take back.
Sure.
You're pushing through. Maybe I'm just not focusing hard enough.
Maybe.
That's
but
all
it's
like,
really hard to we're going to touch on this in a little bit because this actually just rolls right into this next little segment, but I want to hear more about the golf course. But it's one of those things where it's how much do you focus on like the shot versus, you know, your putting path,
right?
You know, so like, anyways,
I get that because that's to me. I think it's important, you know. Like, okay, so then I went and did the range, and I did 2 drills.
Do they have mats over there? Okay, any
it's
grass?
Public, no grass, just mats.
Okay,
it's public. It's tight. Like it's almost unsafe how tight it is.
Really,
they're really squeezing mats in there. In fact, like 2 teenage kids came up, like one biffed it and almost hit somebody who was left.
Jesus.
Okay, and there's an old guy, and he was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Okay." And I feel like everyone was yelling at each other over there. It just felt like very active course.
It's a real hostile environment. It's not,
not super relaxing.
It's like when you go over to Costa Mesa too. It's same kind of thing. It's just a lot of people trying to putt, a lot of people trying to hit golf balls.
The putting green is probably better if it was larger and had better grass on it.
Okay,
but I went there with the idea of just working on something and not like, I was more worried about just hitting a golf ball and working on something, just hitting it well.
Right.
Not like directionally. I wanted to feel like I was hitting a golf ball well.
Mm-hmm.
So I did 2 drills I found on Instagram. I just do a little save page and I wanted to copy drills and less theory. Because I feel like maybe I can teach myself through drills and learning my own swing thoughts and watching video.
You're much more of a move through, like a learning through movement type person,
right?
And visual as well.
Like someone saying, like, you gotta feel like you're doing this. I feel like sometimes I like the feel of it, but like if it gets too like instructional, like how you said how people are on YouTube, I get lost.
Yeah.
So went and just did drills, and I stood on a golf ball on my right foot underneath the ball on my foot, and the purpose of this drill is just to not let the ball move from underneath where it's at. Because I have a problem with lifting up. I have early extension in my golf swing, which then causes my slice, and also my really short shots. And sometimes I get lucky on a hot day. I'm just picking timing really well.
Yeah, it's one of those situations. It's all a timing thing at that point.
Right, and if I'm not feeling timing, then I'm screwed.
Mm-hmm.
So did that, and it's causing like, you know, I'm losing 20, 30, 40 yards. Like, I don't care. I'm not worried about distance.
Right.
Just like try to feel the contact.
Yeah, it's a feel thing.
And so I'm like, oh, okay. So you start picking it up. Then the other drill is you put your left foot straight and you move your right foot all the way back behind your hip. Mm-hmm. A big like split squat stance. Be athletic, you know, and you're trying to hit the iron and you're trying to throw your hands at it and cause a draw.
Right.
You like don't let the ball fade. and it helps me with my huge slice. So I'm drawing golf. I'm hooking golf balls. And I'm hitting them off the hosel. I'm towing them. I'm just slapping them around.
Right.
And I pick up a cue and I hit one or two good. And I'm like, okay, I test it out.
Sure.
And I started to click a bit more for me pretty fast because I don't know if like someone telling you, I watched a video on YouTube. Pros will go ask other pros like, hey, what were you trying to feel there? Yeah. And the pro will always not always tell them, but will tell them how it feels for them. Right. And not try to like cater to their feeling. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times you got to go in the lab and be like, it's got to feel like this. And you have to like work out what he's trying to say. And some guys don't pick it up.
And you got to put it into your words, essentially.
Right.
Like you need to translate it, understand it, and put it into a movement that somewhat resembles what they're doing if you want to implement something like that.
And I don't have a big enough dictionary to like read through what they're trying to tell me.
At the same time, too, like we're not professionals. We don't have all these golf coaches. We don't have all these, resources at our fingertips where we have all this knowledge and experiment, time to experiment and all this kind of stuff and learn all the theories and apply them, what works, what does. There's just so much out there. So I think drills are like a really good way.
I'm not talking like crazy drills. I didn't want alignment sticks. I didn't want like a grass mat. I didn't want him to like, you got to do 3 different stages of this. I wanted just a drill to like help him straighten me out and for me to kind of just pick up the pieces of what I think it should feel like. And then I created my own feel. And then like the feeling, like the swing thoughts kind of just went away. And because the drill felt so right, I ended up starting to hit a few pretty well.
Nice, dude.
That I was happy with. And I didn't pick up a lot of clubs. I did with my hybrid. Then I hit like a bunch of, and I just chipped a bunch of wedges. And it felt like the timing just from working on that fixed like a little bit of my chipping. And I'm hitting it on maps, so I don't know how much like really great shots those were.
Sure.
Because the mat will bump you or bump the ball up for you to peer it, or you hit the mat first and then hit the ball. Right. To save a fat. I have a problem fatting the golf ball. But anyways.
That's really cool, though, and especially with if a drill can... So let's just hypothetically talk because you're almost... Let's say you're in the trees and you're totally blocked out and you have to hit a hook. You didn't know how to do that. Like if there was an opportunity where you're playing really good golf and like there is a shot where you have to hit like some sort of like hook or draw and it gives you a massive advantage because then you're only, let's say 100 yards out as opposed to being 250 yards out and chipping out to the fairway. That's essentially a stroked gain because I would say if you put yourself at 100, you're going to then take 3 shots to get down.
Totally.
70 to 80% of the time. But if you put yourself 250 yards out, I'm giving you to get down in 3, probably 10, 20, 30% of the time, right?
I agree.
Yeah. So like if I'm 250 out, I'm thinking let's try to get down in 3, but like getting down to 4 is not bad.
Right. And it's at least now I can just know that if I need to do that, like you were saying, I can just stand a different way and just hit it. Even if it looks goofy, like it almost like helps manufacture a draw. And I think golfers need to get rid of this like notion that you can't do stuff like that.
Dude, for sure.
Because
I was about to ask you, did you feel ridiculous on the range?
I loved it.
Yeah, it's one of those, you got the phone out behind you, you're doing a couple things, you're just like dialing in.
And sometimes other people would come up and ask me questions about what was going on. I'd be like, dude, I'm no good. This is just a drill I'm doing. And then it built like it seemed like some people around me took it a bit more serious, which was kind of cool. Like I brought some seriousness in it for some people.
That's cool.
It was fun. And I was only there, I did like a medium bucket. I didn't even hit through the whole thing.
Wow.
I just wanted to like get a feel down and just like swing a club because we got a club championship coming up.
Yes, we do. And I can't wait for this, dude. I was just because now we're on the doorstep. I was like thinking about it a lot today. I was like, I cannot wait for this weekend coming up, dude.
The tee time should be released here shortly for us. It is the club championship at our men's club. So it's a 2-day event. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday. We prepaid. Last year we won a bunch of money in this. We did really well. I got second net. Andrew won first gross in B flight.
Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, I really did have the round of my life in a tournament, which is another thing that's kind of crazy.
We both came in. They were impressed because everyone was struggling because of the wind. And we were late afternoon teen time, and we came in and threw something together.
Yeah. I think you shot 81 on Sunday too, right? I thought I
shot an 83 and I shot an 86 or something.
Okay.
Day 2.
Whatever it was your lowest round by far in a tournament.
I'd be happy if I shot back-to-back 80s right now.
Oh, 80s? Oh,
yeah.
Just in the 80s.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Yeah, that would be great. And you balled out, shot 83, 86 last year.
And I was pissed on the 86.
Yeah, you were.
Like I had a right to be upset.
Yeah, we were playing.
I haven't shot in the 80s in forever, it feels like. I've been living on that like low 90s mark.
Well, I think that's part of the growing pains, though, dude. You're going through a little bit of like a small, even though it's a small field change, you're trying to figure out what exactly that is. And that's a swing change. And you're trying to figure out how it works, how to implement some more things into hopefully later down the line here, get you into that single digit handicap. Maybe maybe in like, a year, maybe next year around this time.
Hopefully. Shout out my cousin Mikey. He shot 84.
Wow, dude, that is huge.
Yeah, came out and texted me. He shot an 84 the day of the wedding.
Wow, good for Mike, dude.
I was hyped.
The golfing woes have been all
Tough.
too real for that guy.
Tough, and he's making a massive comeback. So
love that.
And we have some events, me and him, coming up, and our club championship. But yeah, I'm really excited for this tournament. It's fun. We're gonna do a sleepover.
Yeah, we got to make that happen.
We got to
run it back to like the volleyball high school days.
Oh yeah,
that was all time.
That was so we can just be more efficient for traveling purposes.
And we got to probably tone it down on the Sour Patch Kids and the 5 and the 5 energies.
We're gonna get some
sleep. we were different. We would stay up to like 4 or 5 in the morning, and like our wake up call would be at 6:30.
I mean, I felt fine until like 4 p.m.
Right, and then you're just totally gassed.
And then we would shower.
Yeah, and then we just do it all over again.
And we would just hang out again.
Yeah.
Like real savages.
I don't know how it's one of those things where it's like, wow, I wish I was like using some more of that energy back in the day for something else.
Something productive.
Right.
But like that's like the
I mean, we had a lot of fun though.
Oh my God.
A lot of fun.
Age is wasted on the youth.
There we go.
You know what I mean?
Jesus, Tom. Philosophical
Did you
over
like
here,
that
dude.
one?
That was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't know who it's from. I've heard it once. I locked it in. And it's true. That's like your parents, I'm sure my mom was like, why don't you guys
do anything else? Why don't you guys go outside and like run around?
I'm like,
and,
no,
like,
Mom,
play
I'm gonna
basketball.
watch like Pineapple Express and I'm gonna eat these Sour Patch Kids.
Right.
And I'm gonna play like NHL and I'm gonna play Call of Duty
and also just in high school, then we'll just, in junior, senior year, then we'll get 30 racks.
Oh yeah, then
we
we're
would
playing
get 30 rack. NHL.
Beer pong.
Right.
Oh, beer pong's great.
Original BP. That is the game forever goated.
Yeah, we can never do it.
It's so impossible to play. So like, you want to give a little sneak peek of what maybe this game is?
Yeah, it's if the rules change, household, and I'll just give you how we play.
Yeah.
So classic ping pong table,
but it's with paddles.
With paddles and a ball. You get two cans on each side on each corner. You have a partner. You're both on the same side of the net, and it's very much like volleyball. But the purpose of it is you want to try to hit on the third or second hit the can. Mm-hmm. And each hit requires 1/3 of the beer, right? And the beers have to be open on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Now, very rarely do you get to hit a can and have it fall over with no sips. I think I've only seen it once, and I think it was by you.
Yeah, that was impressive. I mean, I'm throwing out my shoulder at this thing.
Yeah, I mean, so the idea is the person can hit on the third, and you're trying to like field it.
Yeah, you're trying to like play some defense, keep it in front of you.
You have 2 hits or 3. Almost always it's 2.
Yeah, it's 2.
Unless it's a really bad set, and you kind of try to go back over and you try to help them out one more time.
Yeah.
But the idea is I would try to body the ping pong ball up to keep it in front of you after they miss. And then I try to flick one up over the net,
right, and
on their side,
and therefore I'm running towards the cups or the beer cans on the other side, and I'm wailing away at this ping pong ball.
As close as I possibly can get, like to where you're comfortable, where you feel like it's on top of the beer can, And if you knock it over, it's a full beer. Once 2 cans are done from either hits or
sips,
hits or finishing it off the table, then you can rebuttal. So even if you get hit off the beer can, you can run around, try to scramble, and keep going. Then it just cancels each other out.
It's a really elite game because it's a team game. You're constantly like moving around, playing around. It's almost like it's just like a little volleyball aspect to it.
Right.
It's really fun, and it just brings together ping pong and volleyball. And it's just like
makes it
and drinking,
and it really helps out with the corner shots. And
oh
ping pong.
yeah,
you learn how to really like flick.
Mm-hmm.
Your like stupid backhands and your forehand.
Right.
Try to like
you get crafty with it, and you're diving all over the place because the ball doesn't have to stay on the table.
Right.
If the ball is bouncing, it's live. So you have to play like in a garage, in like a very confined square or rectangle room, and so the garage is perfect for that. And so you can just you start playing it off walls. You start going around and around. Yeah, it's really fun.
And the serving you do, if it hits the can, it's a play on. So almost like hitting the top of the can is great, but if you hit the middle of the can, that's like almost a free table flick. But you just try to serve it to them and try to ace them. But I don't think anything happens if you ace them.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's more of like a rally starter almost.
Right. You almost try to like give them something a little bit more harder so you can't just toss one up there.
Right. It's kind of a little bit of a gentleman's game on that first initial serve, but then other than that, it's free for all, and you're trying to knock the fuck out of those cans.
Right. I'm sure you can do something for it though, but anyways,
I would love to hear. That was quite the little tangent right there.
Love the little tangent.
On, dude.
Original. I mean, we just clicked back into a game that was played hours in our garage
forever, all night.
That's some in the Cabbage stuff. We brought you back into a quick memory from the boys.
Yeah,
that's what you want to hear.
That is.
You want a glimpse? You want behind the curtain?
And it was always the Budweiser cans. You have to get Budweiser because the cans are a little bit more stout. They're a little bit shorter and fatter.
And they were fun. The Budweisers. I like the bullets too. The banquets.
Yes, the banquets. Those are the two. Those are the two for sure.
And not glass, obviously aluminum.
Yeah,
that would throwing glass off your table.
That'd be a short game.
But yeah, it was overall a great weekend.
I would love to hear some of your goals here that we have coming up for this tournament.
For me, it would be I want to...
Because last year you went 83, 86. The pools and times aren't out yet, but let's call you flight C or B right now.
C or B?
Because I might be like in the A or B.
I think it would be the top seeded C.
You would love to place in C?
I mean, I don't think my game's at B right now with the swing change. So I would say top flight C.
So then what do you want to get out of it? Because if you're not going for a place finish and you don't think your game's at like, a B level even right now, and you're kind of teetering a little bit, what do you want to get out of it? I guess what's a goal?
I just want to come and I want to feel like I'm hitting the ball well again. Like
more specifically, like your like mid irons probably.
Yeah.
I
feel like I'm actually hitting irons again. I just want to go out and I want to, you know what? I want to be fully connected throughout almost 99.5% of my golf shots.
Yeah.
Even if it's like I'm pissed off and or I'm having fun, like I'm just being like focus on the shot that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it's time to step up that 20 seconds I'm going to take, I want to be locked in for those.
Yeah. I love that. I think
checking out and just being like, oh, this isn't important or this isn't good.
Yeah. Because we've even said it too. We've been good about, I guess, pointing it out to one another at the same time, and not like in a dick way, but like, dude, that was not really going to go right from the start because you just like weren't thinking clearly, and like you were kind of like half in it.
You're like, I'm just gonna slap some up here. I'm gonna do a cut or a fade.
And it's like no. Like we need to have full intention here, because if we're trying to get something out of it, look where the trouble is. Where's the miss? Should I miss long or short? Should I grab more club or less club to hit that shot? And then boom,
right. And I don't want to worry about the money either, like the winning money. I just want to because I think that's kind of got in my head because I won so much money last year that I'm like, ooh, it's time to go win some money.
Yeah.
And I think I just want to go and get back to like, I just want to play good golf. And if Monday becomes something of that, then great.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it, dude.
Because then it adds like that, it removes that extra pressure of like, ooh, if I make a birdie here, that's some cash. Instead of being like, ooh, you're just being excited that I'm hitting a birdie.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, again, we're going for pars, and if we get birdies, then great. Like it's the whole thing about playing good golf, like in a tournament. And if you win a skin, I think that's just a bonus.
I just feel like we haven't played great golf in a tournament in a hot minute either.
Yeah, I know. And so that's why I'm in this a little bit of like a limbo state. Like I would love to play really good golf because I haven't really been playing some good golf and like competitively recently. It's only been like in the last like couple like times I've gone out there where like my game is starting to click back in a little bit. But because I'm going through a little bit of a swing change as well,
right?
But it's not as like severe as yours. I think I just want to I want to try to hit like 9 or 10 greens in reg. I would love to go with like a little bit of that swing thought, but more so like a goal for like hitting greens, and I can't be like if the pin's in the back, I can't miss long. Like I do that all the time, and I screw myself, and it's a bogey every single time because then I'm knocking it to 15 feet. And then I'm not draining the 15-footer. Like, I'm just not going to do that.
So trying to find more middle greens.
I need to find more middle greens this weekend. So I would love to hit like 9 or 10 greens in a reg. And if I'm really in trouble, I don't need to save my entire round with one shot. Like, that happens to me. And like, sometimes it works. Like, I would say like 70 or 80% of the time. But if it's a really tough situation where I'm trying to hit a 60-yard hook with like a 4-iron out of the rough to like get me back in play, it's like, let's chip out with a 4-iron and move it 100 yards. Like
I love that from you because your rescue game, when it's clicking, is something really special, a part of your game, because then it feels like all aspects are going. And it's almost a fire starter for you too.
It kind of is.
Sometimes when you're not having a great round, and then like by hole 2 or 3, if you have like a really fire rescue, it almost starts firing your game up a bit.
Kind of clicks me back in. Yeah.
Right. So I like the idea of maybe like going for reachable risks, like high percentage risks.
Yeah.
And when you don't need to do that because you're playing well, maybe you're going to rescue it for a par or even take your medicine and go bogey.
Right.
Instead of maybe like carting that one extra double maybe you wouldn't have.
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it. So that's a goal for me.
Love that.
More greens. And I would just love to, if I'm going to miss, I want to miss in the right spots. Because when I miss, I always miss on the wrong like spots. And I'm not talking like 6 irons into the green, because at that point, I don't care. I'm not that good. I can't hit a 6 iron from 200 yards out and pick if I want to miss short right, really. Like that means I just didn't hit it well, but like, I could fade it, push it, hook it. Like I'm not that good yet. I'm just talking like wedges. Like 150 and in. Like if I'm going to miss, I need to miss on the correct side and give myself a chance for par.
I like that. I think the idea for me on where I don't want to miss is I already know which my miss is going to be, which is like farther right.
Yeah.
So I kind of almost aim like where missing short right and like super far right are okay. And that's normally where the spot I pick.
Gotcha. It just feels so weird because I haven't fully, I guess, been concentrated on doing something like that before. And like I'm a little bit more, I guess I want to be more prone to that. I want to be a little bit more receptive of that idea, and especially for scoring like purposes. Like I feel like right now, if I'm hitting the golf ball pretty well, like I hit it great off the tee, and if I have a great driving day, I make bogey from like 60 to 120 yards out, like 3 or 4 times around sometimes.
And it also helps you get in a place of flow state. It makes the game a lot easier at times.
Yeah, it feels.
And then almost you can like rev the engine, and then you get like hit by something, and you have to rev it back. And it's like that's that constant game, like where pros can like play it and get that feeling and get hot, and they know how to like tote that line of when to like rev and bring it back like throughout the round, which is a whole nother level of scoring. I thought you were already into course management. This sounds like you're being a lot more intentional around the greens this time.
I was always, obviously, if there's like water, right? Like I'm not aiming like if the pin's on the left, water's on the left. I'm not aiming at the pin. Like I'm not saying like that. I'm more so talking about, 95 yards, pin in the back right, Like, let's not hit a full lob wedge because my lob wedge goes 105. Let's hit a 3/4 lob wedge 30 feet short and left. Chances are I might push it and hit it a little bit harder because that's my miss.
Right.
And I need to have that more, like a little bit better intention for that, as opposed to saying, oh, it's time to score. It's 95 yards out. Like, I would love my game to get there. And if it's, if I'm feeling more confident, like I'm really dialed in, like hole 13, 14, maybe I'll be a little bit more aggressive, but not out of the gate like that.
I like that. You can do the Tiger thought, which is aggressive to your points.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to be. Aggressive to my points.
Like, ooh, this is going to be an easy shot because I'm only 100 out. So I can be a real aggressive with my point I'm aiming at.
Mm-hmm.
Like I should dial this. It should be perfect.
Right. And give myself a good look from 15 feet or 20 feet.
And I think that's awesome. And, talking about being perfect sometimes in an imperfect situation is Damian Lillard. I think he's really, handled himself well. I don't even mind the way he's holding the Portland Trailblazers to the trade. And in an imperfect situation, because I get it. Portland doesn't want to trade Damian Lillard to the Miami Heat. I think I said Houston Rockets, but Miami Heat.
No, you said Heat earlier.
Okay,
yeah,
good. Because probably Heat are going to take advantage of it because they know Dame wants to go play for them. And you know what? The Heat, or not the Heat, but the Portland Trailblazers just need to take a bit of a hit.
Yeah, I think the whole thing that, the whole message, I guess you're trying to really say is dude, the dude has been with the Trailblazers and has been a franchise player for the last decade.
Right.
And has stuck through them when they have been garbage for a while. And now at this point, he's played there for how many years? Probably 10, 12 years. Yeah. Dude, the dude's been playing forever over there. And it's if he wants to move, because it's a profession, it's like a job. And if you want to change a position or a job, I feel like you should be granted that if you are going to play almost your entire career for a franchise and they really don't do anything for you and you're kind of they're trying to put a team around you, but it never really quite happens. They
sell multiple of your best players because they're okay, well, this organization sucks. I just think the NBA today preaches there's no brand, there's no league loyalty, there's no team loyalty anymore. And, everyone's leaving and go do their own thing and for more money. And I kind of forgot that. I'm you know what? You're right. Why aren't these people staying with teams more? And then there's something like this happens, and then I'm completely in the opposite favor. I'm screw it. It reminds me of a job. You know what I mean? A corporation, at the end of the day, really doesn't care about you. They're going to say you're like a family. They're going to tell you everything that you want to hear. And when it comes down to it, and it's you and not then the corporation not making more money, they're always going to cut you.
Yeah,
and
always.
This is very much, and they call it just business. Well, for these players, it's not just business. This is personal.
Yeah,
this is an organization. These are fans. This is
and especially when you are dedicating so much hard work and effort. I mean, for sure, corporation and in the real business world, I feel it's a little bit different for these guys,
right? Because
they're also they're icons in the city, and they're grinding and doing all these workouts and stuff. And if they're truly putting forth a ton of effort and giving it all, and you're not getting a little bit back from the franchise, I can see why that could be really disheartening and be you know what, screw it. All the players are going to say something like that. I'm just going to leave when I want to, right? Because I just need to look out for myself. And that's
a great business mindset, because a business is always going to look out for the business. And Portland's we're in a really tough situation here. If we had more options, we'd obviously be able to get a more friendly deal. And I get it. Damien's being a little difficult with I'm going to the Heat, figure it out. But just take an L. Damian Lillard's brought so much more money to this organization than they would have ever made without him. And they'll continue making that money now. like the L you're going to take from the Heat is not going to like you're going to be positive in money still.
Yeah, or just get draft picks. If Miami is going to like, look to make a push next year, just get draft picks for Dame. Like I don't understand.
Right,
and they just bolster up your team and rebuild for 3-4 years down the line. But and they also just drafted third overall. I forget the dude's name, but he's a really really good point guard.
Right. So you already had a position filled. Like let's just move on from this. Just give Dame what he needs or wants. There's no need to like do this anymore. I don't know. It just makes me angry because it's the projection of like, pick a team. The guy does it. People get on him for doing it. Like he's wasting his career. Finally, like probably has a meeting with them. They're like still sucking. He's like, all right, dude, it's time I gotta go. And they're like,
right.
Great. And he's like, this is the team I want to go to.
And you're like, can't make it happen.
Can't make it happen. No, I get
it's frustrating.
If the Heat is giving them absolute garbage, they're giving like, we'll give you 3 second rounders.
And you're like, oh, yeah, well, that's not going to do it.
Right. Like I get it on that aspect of it. But also be like very clear. Be like Miami Heat. And we're working on something. We feel like the deal is unfair a bit because, we're getting, or talk about it in private with Dame. So maybe it keeps his.
I'm sure. I'm sure that's going on behind the scenes. But yeah, I mean, if it's a bummer that he's so selective, maybe. I'm sure there's definitely teams out there that want Damian Lillard, and he's a baller. But I think it just goes back to what you were talking about. We were bringing up John Morant a little bit earlier in a podcast, and these guys are just, they're a walking business. So totally understandable when guys are, trade hopping and going for more money, this and that, and like trying to build a super team. It's like they're really just looking out for themselves, at the end of the day, because it's like it's their well-being and business. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm back and forth. I'm leaning on the fence on either side because it's one of those things where, yeah, I do want to see a little bit more player loyalty, but like if everyone's doing it, then like you kind of need to like do it as well because everyone's moving around and like you gotta jump on whatever you think is helping you
to win you a championship or make you more money for your family. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing to that person.
Exactly.
The business will make money. Organizations in NBA are making money. It's just how much money they want to make. So yeah, man. I mean, we've been loving Wimbledon. That was also going on this weekend for myself.
Really cool. I can't get enough of it, man. It's becoming one of my favorite sports to watch, and especially when it's like the round of 16 or like the quarterfinals and like ramping up for the end of the tournament. It's pretty special. I love the mind game, the physical aspect of the game, the strategy, the overall conditioning of these guys that are playing the game is unbelievable, dude. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, these games are going like 2.5, 3 hours, 4 hours, and I'm like, this is unreal.
Like I'm playing golf and I'm tired if I walk a course.
Right.
And like these dudes are sprinting for 4.5 hours.
Every point.
Swinging really hard every point. Hundreds more swings than golf.
And like I love when they're exhausted and they're winning a point and they're looking at the crowd like, I'm doing this for you guys.
Right.
Like,
and they're just firing up the crowd.
And you can feel momentum. It's great. Breakpoint does or Point Break or Breakpoint?
Breakpoint? Yeah, Breakpoint.
Point Break is a movie. Breakpoint is the show. Yeah, I've just been following Eubanks. It's been awesome to see. I
was really bummed to see Francis Tiafoe lose.
Yeah.
I was really bummed about that because I thought they covered him really well in the Breakpoint TV series that's on Netflix. And his like whole upbringing and how he like grew up, with his father working at like a country club and him just like knocking tennis balls around and him just like, very, tennis is a country club sport. So like it's hard to get into if you don't have, the resources around you when you're growing up. So it's one of those situations where he was like, family was not well off growing up, but he was able to like break through and
figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a hell of a player too. So I was bummed to see him lose.
Yeah, it was a bummer. I also watched my man Mario
Beretti.
Yeah, he took the L today too, which was, I mean, I knew it was coming because it was versus Alcatraz, and then it just couldn't be too
Alcaraz. Yeah, there we
Alcatraz.
go. Alcatraz. That's a tough name for him.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You might feel like you're being put on an island out there.
Yeah, dude, that guy is special.
Yeah, you might be feeling in prison if you walk onto this man.
If no one has checked out Alcatraz, Carlos Alcaraz. Yeah, I mean, you gotta throw on some highlights of this guy at the very least.
I mean, he's the last year match. He was him and Sinner was really good.
Yes,
too.
Dude, so good. So, I think it's gonna be, and I don't know how the bracket's gonna like work out, but it's gonna be Djokovic and Carlos in the final for sure. If the bracket kind of works out that way. Like, you want to give a little shout out to Eubanks right now?
I mean, he's playing unreal. It's been fun to watch him just run around, serve the ball, smart tennis decisions, and like
he's got a hell of a serve, monster forehand, and I think he's been at it for like 4 or 5 years and been trying to qualify and get in.
First Wimbledon
entrance and going to the quarterfinals. That's like it's happened in like 40 years or something crazy like that for an American.
He might be the American hope here.
He's our last male player right now.
I mean,
he looks good, dude, and he was like outside the top like 150 like not too long ago, and like kind of caught fire. And after this, he's going to be like ranked 30th in the world after this tournament.
That's so cool. Good for him, man. Another thing, the Turn Up tournament for the Open, which is, coming up here in a couple weeks. But we wanted to cover the Scottish Open, which is a good warm-up. I've never personally watched it, so this is going to be my first time really viewing for it.
I haven't really either, or really, I would say tap into it,
Right. I mean, I've seen highlights, but it reminds me, I had this thought, a long time ago, where I was playing a links course, and I remember like feeling what a links course felt like while playing it, the crazy, like some of the different shots I would hit, the overall vibe of the golf course. I feel it a lot more. Where classic American golf almost feels like a picture for me.
Yeah.
I almost view it like a TV shot. And it's more of like, wow, this is picturesque. And I don't know what you think about that, or if you feel like, that is how that golf is played, or which one do you might enjoy more too?
I think this has always been thought. I've always kind of had that thought, but you kind of, brought it further to light, especially because, I don't know, Seal Beach golf course. Is that like... That felt underwhelming for American golf because it was not, quote unquote, picturesque, right? It wasn't that feeling of like, wow, this is gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Like the course was in great conditions, but nothing was standing out to me. And like, for all the courses that we play out here, like, if you play like Torrey Torrey Pines, like a lot of picturesque, like a lot of like really iconic like holes, infinity greens, all that kind of stuff. Huge, canyons and stuff to hit over, big trees, big water fixtures, mountains maybe. And links is the complete opposite of that. And we played a couple of links rounds here and there.
And they're super fun.
Really fun because the grass is different. It's cut differently. And like you're able to play so many more shots off slopes. And even when you hit it in the fairway, you could be totally screwed because the ball's like 6 inches below your feet, and you're like, got this crazy weird lie that's going on. You're like, dude, I'm in the fairway right now. I should be hitting off of flat ground. Like, well, not that style of golf.
That is true.
So I agree with you 100%. So when a U.S. course is not really beautiful, I find it very lackluster.
Right. And I feel like even with like links courses, it's very simple. Like the idea of making a really good one is a lot easier to do. By the ocean, lots of sand, move land really easily or not at all, easy to grow grass on. Mm-hmm. And it's just, the top courses in the world are almost all links.
Yeah. And they're also, just because there's not a lot of trees typically on links golf you get a lot more wind on the course too.
Yeah.
So you have to like play with your flight trajectories a lot. You got to like keep the ball low. You got to like, if you want to hit it like high and soft because you're going to be downwind.
Right.
You got to play a lot more of like trajectory into your game as opposed to
bump and runs, which my game does not translate well for. Your boy gets chewed up out there.
Yeah, in link style golf.
Oh my God, that's why I need to work on the swing change so I can, somehow master some flights if I have a chance out there.
I think it's I think it's really fun. I would love to hear and what you guys maybe think, or if it's something like that, it brings about different feelings or thoughts. It's not to say that one's better than the other. I just think it's a different feeling, and I think golf is cool because you can get two different feelings on a golf course.
Totally, and I think it's fun. It's not a bad or a better one or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's just whatever. I just thought it was a fun, free flowing thought.
Yeah, I love it, dude. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing some of that link style golf, even though it does maybe look a little bit black and white or plain on the TV.
Right.
Because we have played it before, it's fun. We can understand that the level of difficulty with certain shots is there, and it's still there, or even more so, especially with the hills. So I'm excited to see that for the Scottish Open here.
For sure.
And that brings us over to our like rolling bet that we got going on right now, dude. Recapping really quickly from the last tournament we covered, I ended up finishing a slightly lower and ahead last week, so I got first pick here.
I'm getting crushed by you. I'm gonna be your caddy,
dude. There needs to be some sort of massive blow up by me. 3 guys got to pull out of injury for me.
Yeah, I mean, I need them 3 not to make it. I need you to get 3 cuts.
Yeah, 3 cuts.
Which would be huge. And I need to like get second.
Yeah, you got to have like a 12th.
Yeah,
overall or something.
I gotta get like third.
Yeah, our guys got to go 1, 2, 3, and that's a second for me.
Right.
So yeah, dude, I picked a guy for this reason because he likes to keep the ball low. He's from the area. Excuse me, and that's Tommy Fleetwood. Would love to see him win his first PGA Tour event.
Oh yeah,
he is so due. He's like started 270 events or something like that. Hasn't gotten a win, and he's a class player. So I'm hoping that he shows up. I would love to see that guy in the winner's circle. Another guy for me here, keeping the tees rolling. I'm going with Tom Kim.
Oh yeah.
What a special young player this guy is. So, it just seems like he gets dialed in and he gets really amped up, and I'm really hoping that he taps into one of those zones.
That'd be great.
This week, and something special might happen. And again, keeping it local in the area, I'm going with Mackenzie Hughes, rounding up my 3rd pick.
Love your picks.
I mean, just kind of going a little bit unconventional, but at the same time, just going with some of the homeboys. So let's let it rock.
I went with Max Homa. Been playing really well. Everyone's saying he's in a funk because he hasn't won, so I think he's due for one. He's been playing the top 5, top 10 spots pretty consistently. I went with this name strictly because I knew you were going to pick the other name during this time. I've been keeping eyes and tabs on him all year when he's been in the tournaments, and it's been Ludwig Aberg.
If you haven't heard about him, and if you heard it here first about like 5 episodes ago, the dude is special. The dude's really good.
Starting to turn it up, and once he learns how to win, I think it's going to be all systems go.
He has played in 5 events thus far, straight out of college, because he got his tour card 2 months ago.
Right.
And he's like not placed outside of like the top 40 or something like that in any event. The dude's balling. He
hasn't hit a slice or cut or a push or a draw.
Just a straight bullet.
Just a straight bomb.
And I didn't realize how big he was, actually. I didn't.
A big boy.
He's like 6'2", right?
Built,
and he's solid.
Yeah.
And he can send it on down there, 182, 183 ball speed. Pretty effortless as well. So, and it just looks like his swing is going to do no wrong. It can also roll the rock, too. So I love that pick, dude. And I'm really hoping that I finish lower than you. Or maybe, actually, you can't pick him next week. I don't even know if he's in the field for the Open, but I wanted him for the Open. I know he was going to be going to be picked.
Right.
So I'm really hoping that he's in the Open.
And then I'm going to go round out the list for me with Nick Taylor. He's been letting me down all year. Every time I pick him, seems to not do well. But
he did okay. He did okay for you over I think like 3 weeks ago.
I think
right?
so, maybe.
You got like 30th or something like that. Not going to do you any wrong.
I think
but
he's missed a cut for me a couple times.
Yeah,
he's like
that's-
my third round pick guy. I like to go with.
He's your go-to.
But
so.
yeah, man, what a podcast that rounds us off here. We're gonna go to silver linings, because I had to use some of these silver linings because we had a power outage here in Tustin. We were out from 5 p.m. to 1:30 a.m.
Yeah, dude, that's tough. And that was yesterday, right?
It was yesterday. So I thought, why don't we do 3 silver linings of a power surge? Yeah, I ran over here, dude. Everything shut off. I'm like, great, we threw a breaker out. Because, I mean, I have the washer and dryer going. The dishwasher's on. I thought, okay, we overload our condos. Power grid, so whenever I hit the breakers, doesn't work. And that's the extent of how I know how to do things.
Right.
And if that doesn't happen, so oopsie daisy, and hit him again. And Madison's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I think we have a power outage. And I Googled it, and I was like, actually kind of happy it is, because it means there's not anything wrong with our power personally.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then
the last thing you want is an electrical problem for your house.
Right. And I'm like, okay,
hell no.
That would have been tough. Did I lead last week?
I don't know. I'm happy to lead us off right now. Can I get us going with a little honorable mention, though?
Yeah, please.
Honorable mention. It's good candle for me.
Oh, yeah.
Good candle in a power outage. I don't know. I mean, a candle just hits as is, but like you need a couple candles lit, and I feel like that really sets the mood for the entire night. Going in my third slot here, I believe you mentioned this earlier when we were hanging out that you went for a drive with Madison.
Yeah.
And that's my number 3. Going for a drive. Going to like 7-Eleven. Grabbing a couple snacks, throwing on some tunes, you know,
do something.
Like, yeah, you know, you might as well, or like maybe you go for like a little walk or something. Oh, I almost got that little gnat. I don't even know what that was, but I was going for blood there.
Yeah, you locked in.
I really did. It's like a little cat and a toy. I was unsuccessful though. That little bastard's all flying all over the place.
I see him up there. We'll get him later.
So yeah, that's my 3. Got to do something. Maybe got to go pick up some snacks. Whatever. You got to manufacture something. So going for a drive. Okay. Number 2 slot for me. I think this is a really fun silver lining because this is something you won't ever really do, ever. But when the power is out, it suddenly becomes an option, and that's making a fort.
Oh.
Making a fort is number 2 for me, and I think that is a really strong thing because then you can like whatever, then you're kind of hanging out or you got a board game going on, you got a fort and you like, you know, you're kind of like making the most of whatever is happening. It's a nostalgia thing for me.
I think
it's fun.
I look up to Mass and I was like, let's make a fort right now. She'd be like, what's wrong with you?
Oh, Katie and I make a fort every once in a while.
But that's a lot of fun. I just never even thought of it or offered it. And it's not like my vibe. That's great.
Dude,
though.
the cozy corner can put up a solid fort for sure.
I don't think we have the material.
Yeah, you do. Just blankets. This big old blanket over here, you pull over that table or bench.
Oh, no.
Sometimes we bring like a little air mattress out, put the air mattress here, and you like put blankets over the top.
How often were you in power outages?
This is something we just do for fun every once in a while.
Oh, you build a fort for funsies every once in a while.
Like we've done it like once or twice.
Got you.
This was like back in like COVID, you know, when you're like we're just bored. Like you know what sounds fun? Making a fort. Let's go do that and like watch a movie and like it hits. So like it kind of reminds me of like, you know, if you did have a power outage, you would like make a fort sometimes.
Totally.
Okay.
Then I'm just building a fort and I gotta lay in the fort with nothing else to do.
Yeah, you got your phone maybe and you got your snacks.
Yeah, my phone was dead almost though.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So I had like 4% left on the phone.
Yikes.
Okay.
My number 1 here. It's a good board game.
Yeah.
Board game or cards, dude. And like it's one of those things, it's just as good as a movie, and suddenly like all the other things become obsolete, and like that is the prized possession for me. Right. And that's what I'm always leaning on.
It's that's a good list, buddy. The 4th pick came out of nowhere and I love it. Number 4 for me, honorable mention, would be a good snack.
Yeah, that's like, huge.
Whatever you got in there, it's now out. You're hanging out. You're chewing on some chips, like discussing what the game plan is for the night. Number 3 for me, candles mentioned before.
It's essential.
You gotta have lights went out. I started yanking out candles. I found lights. I got everything ready to go. 'Cause I don't know. I had a feeling after the breaker thing, I'm like, this isn't gonna be good.
It could last a good like 2-3
Knocked on
hours.
the neighbor's door. You out? Yeah, he's out. Okay, so went back. Number 2 for me, which Madison I didn't do, but board games.
Okay, yeah.
Like
Nice.
whenever you got in there, it becomes more fun because like you don't even really need to use your phone. And now you got no distractions, like old school connection time. So it's
I
fun.
love that. Do you have a board game that you like really hang your hat on?
No.
Nothing. I love a good Sorry. You ever played Sorry before?
Oh yeah,
Sorry is pretty fun.
Sorry's
very,
good.
very simple.
I'm not a huge board game person.
Yeah, I know. You never really have been, but I mean,
No.
did you play one like back in the day that was like
Candyland.
That's tough, dude.
That was like my favorite board game.
That is yikes. I mean, that's great. It's nostalgic. Have you played it recently though?
No.
Oh my God. Painful.
It's a painful game.
It is the most boring, slow game because I saw it. I was at Pie Society in Costa Mesa and I lost my shit over it. I'm like, fuck, Candyland. It's my childhood. It's like literally from like, when I was like 3-4 years old. Well, it's a 3-4-year-old game. It is rough. Yeah. It's.
I loved Candyland as a kid.
You just pull cards and like it's worse.
Match colors.
And you match colors. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It was great as a kid. I'm like, ooh,
No
pink,
doubt.
pink or whatever.
I loved Stratego. That was mine. Stratego. That was a really sick game.
I bet you now it'd be like some sort. Do anything. Monopoly would be great if you actually had someone who was really into it, who knew all the rules.
Yeah, I guess Monopoly is good. It's just such a long game. My God.
You know somebody who, if you guys all can lock into it, it's pretty fun. You know what's really fun is on the Switch.
They have Monopoly?
And they
Love
do all
that.
that stuff for you.
Yeah, we always throw on Mario Party.
Mario Party's great.
Yeah, that's basically Monopoly in a weird way.
And number 1 for us, which was random activities.
Okay.
Like, for us, like, was a drive.
Okay, yeah.
Like
Gotcha.
something you don't normally do.
Maybe you're like, let's make cookies.
You can't with an electric oven.
Oh.
You can't. Couldn't even make dinner.
Oh.
What we did actually do is we Zillowed. We did a little Zillow trip.
Okay, nice.
We jumped to my dad's huge car, and there's mountains over here at Tustin we're really close to, and up on those mountains are insanely nice homes.
Okay.
Like the Tustin Nelly Gale. Like all up in there.
I didn't even know about that area.
Oh, it's unreal how nice.
Is it like past Old Town Tustin, like closer to the mountain
No,
areas?
it's like left of it.
Okay,
If you're
gotcha.
looking at like Old Town Tustin, it's like left and then
So like
near Tustin Ranch.
so north.
North Tustin.
Okay, gotcha. Never been over there.
If you ever want to like, hey, I just want to go see some homes, like some of the homes like on the bottom are just even cool. Like on the bottom of the hill, it's like 1 story, very wide, huge lots, 1 story homes.
Nice.
So like a lot of sprawling home, huge backyards. In between the 1 million to like 3 million range.
Whoa. Yeah, those are
It's
pretty
not
hefty.
that crazy.
It's not that crazy, but 3
You can
mil.
get like a 1.5 million in that area for like 4-bed, 3-bath, 1 story.
Yeah, that's nice. And you have like
A lot of land.
so much land. Yeah.
So it's not like that crazy. When you start getting up into the hills, though,
yeah,
that's when you start getting your like 5, 6, 7, 8,
Oh boy.
9, 10s, but gorgeous, dude. Like really just setting a dream. Like, kind of almost was nice going to work the next day doing the drive. Like, back to like this is kind of somewhere I want to be at some point in my life.
Sure.
Just these like homes, like almost look like the Hollywood. It looks like Pasadena at the base of the mountain, and it looks like Hollywood Hills towards the mountain.
Wow. Nice, dude.
So-
yeah, I mean, one could dream, and then, maybe it's got a little inspirational thing. So you found some of that. Good
yeah,
stuff.
I think it was fun.
Silver lining in the silver lining here.
Yeah, silver linings in the silver linings. All right, bud. Well, you know what? What a hell of a podcast.
We did it again.
Once again, didn't think we could, be able to have enough stuff to talk about, but here we are. Once again, you got anything for the people here, bud?
Nah. Let's wrap this thing up. It was good stuff today.
Yeah, we gotta watch the documentary here.
Sir, play well in the tournament this weekend.
I can't wait for our sleepover Saturday.
Yeah, it's gonna be all time.
It's gonna be all time. Like, comment, subscribe. We don't plan on going anywhere. We're in the Cabbage. And just a reminder, keep swinging.